My anxiety wasn't cured overnight or anything, but I could see a gradual resolution to it. So I grew up in what I call like a Christian ethos household. We went to church, prayed at dinner until some stuff happened in my family, and we stopped going to church basically. And because I wasn't immersed in that community and I was a bit of a sheep, so I kind of followed what other people were doing, I just stopped really putting in any effort to a relationship with God. Being away from God, it was most felt when I moved to Sydney for my gap year before I started uni. So that was about 3 years ago. And I was super isolated because I was working a full-time job, but I didn't really have any friends that I'd made outside, so I was just kind of at home or at work. There was nothing really fulfilling my life at all, and it felt really empty. And I developed diagnosed capital S, capital A social anxiety. And it was really horrible and lonely and isolating. And I'd wake up before work and feel nauseous and not want to get up for 5 hours. And I'd be jittery all day, on really low energy because I felt so sick that I couldn't eat. It's really just the worst because you want to go out and be social, but you feel like there feels like there's a barrier, something stopping you. And during that time, I just felt lonely. Looking back on it, even though I was feeling super lonely, I still wasn't alone because God had been planting some small little seeds in my life. And then I got immersed in a community that were all in this well, not all, but quite a few were in a relationship with Jesus. And you could just kind of tell that they had something a little bit different about them. I'd now say it like genuine Christian. Rather than maybe some things that I'd seen modeled when I was growing up, which was more like, live as a Christian. And I realized I wanted what they had. So I was like, where do I get this? What do I do? And so once that happened, like my anxiety wasn't cured overnight or anything, but I could see a gradual resolution to it. Like beginning of 1 week, I'd have that nausea and waking up and not wanting to go outside. And then the end of the week, I'd be out with 20 friends having a really wonderful time without worrying about what I was eating or drinking or what maybe people thought of me. And I think it's because I became more confident in my identity with God rather than worrying what everybody else thought. So yeah, I guess right now I feel like I have a friend and mentor, someone that cares about me really deeply and wants me to do the best. And sometimes when he's loving, it seems harsh to us in the moment, and then in reflection, it's the best thing that ever could have happened. Yeah, so I think I've come out of like a couple of weeks of being in like a really unfun place, and it's because it is a relationship with God and I wasn't putting in my part of the two-way street. You need to put in effort. Like if you have a best friend and you only see them once every 2 months, are they really your best friend if you haven't been having shared experiences and sharing how you're going and what's good and bad and asking for help? Yeah, if you do that, is it really a relationship or is it just a thing of convenience? And a relationship with God should never be convenient because it's so much more. So now I feel like when I'm in a really good place with being in a relationship with God, I'm really happy and I'm content, I think, really content and okay with what's going on, and I know where I can get answers and comfort and love. And then when I'm having periods where I'm not feeling close to God, I literally do an anxiety spiral because I think I need to be in control of everything. Like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, anxiety spiral because nothing was really happening the way I wanted it to be happening. And I just didn't want to talk to God about it. And because I'd taken myself out of that sort of security, it crumbled, because how can a human be expected to be able to hold the weight of the world on her shoulders? Like, that's not my job. Yeah, so I find it a very tangible difference in peace. You can trust in him to make the right decisions because he's God.